what is the best fusion to use in Dragon Ball Spark in Zero? So when you think of fusion, you often think of Gogeta Blue and also Vegito Blue as well, because of their devastating attacks in the manga series and on the Super Dragon Ball series as well. But there's also Kefla, who's a combination between Kale and Kefla in Dragon Ball Super, who's pretty strong as well. But between these three, who could be the strongest? Or maybe, is there someone else? Someone else who is just as strong as these three fusions? That's right, maybe Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta himself from the GT series. Now we're going to be diving through the gameplays and mechanics of each of these guys, and we're going to be seeing if their attacks are pretty strong, or how fluent the gameplay is, if these guys can get you to win, and yeah. Okay, so not in any particular order. This we'll be looking at Gogeta Blue right now, and yes, so with Gogeta Blue's gameplay, it felt very smooth. I was able to use a lot of vanishes to get out of the way of other people's attacks. I would say I won about 90% of the games I played with this character. He's very strong. He's got the abilities Instant Transmission and Stardust Barrier. With this, I was able to deflect enemies' attacks, and with the Instant Transmission, I could use my special attacks and get right behind the enemy. And now I was very confident at using this character just because of how smooth he felt. And as you saw there, we used the Instant Transmission, got behind of them, and was able to use our special attack. And now, as I said, I felt very confident with this character. I was able to do 1v2s with this character, and I do not play this game a lot. So to be able to do that against other characters and other players who actually play the game 24/7 means, this character was very, very formidable indeed. Now, his ultimate attack, the ultimate Kamehameha, was very, very strong. Took out most of the enemies when they're low on health. I had no problem with that. And yeah, I would say a good 95% of his attacks hit. So now let's look at the other characters. Okay, so our next character or fusion is Vegito Blue. Now, I was able to combo with him just as much as Gogeta, but I wasn't able to get into high vanishing gameplay with him. Maybe because I didn't play him as much as Gogeta, so there is with that. I feel his God Kamehameha, though, is a very long animation, and so that led the other player able to dodge the attack. But when it did hit, it just felt pretty strong as well as this special attack as well. And this, I would say, I won a good 80% to 85% of my games using him. But his abilities, the full charge, by using this, I was able to recover my ki and use my ultimates a lot more. And so there is that good benefit as well, because Gogeta didn't have that, but he had other special abilities. Now his ultimate, his Big Bang Kamehameha ultimate was pretty good indeed. It's very strong. Other players did dodge it a lot, but yeah. Okay, so our next character is Kefla. I didn't have as much experience with this character as Vegito Blue and Gogeta Blue, so that may play a part in the experience I had with this character. So I wasn't very much experienced with this character at all, but I wasn't able to combo with his character a lot, and so that led to less combos, taking major damage as well from the other player. And also Kefla's special attacks, I just felt they weren't too strong and that they were very easily dodgeable. Now, we did survive a few ultimates, which is pretty good. You'd want that from a very powerful character, but I just feel that Kefla's attacks weren't as strong as the other two, Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue as well. Now her ultimate was very strong when it hit. When it hit, it was very strong. It took down enemies left, right and center, but it was very easy to dodge it. You just had to get out of the blast radius because it would create a explosion around her, and if you didn't get caught in it, you'd be safe. But if the other player did get caught in it, then it would easily take them down as well. The only time I did combo with this character when I was going into the ultimate, when you get that burst of Limit Breaker energy, I believe. And so you could go on a few combos, but just like you did with any other character really though. So that's Kefla and my experience with her. But yeah, now let's look into our final fusion. Now, of course, our final fusion is Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. Now, to get this character, you had to buy it in the item shop or the character shop on the title screen when you went there. Now, with Gogeta, it just felt like Gogeta Blue as well, just redesigned and like I said, redesigned and re-charactered. So I was able to go on good amounts of combos with him, and I was able to win a good 80 to 85% of the games. Now, when we went on the Limit Breaker full power scene, we was able to be like unstoppable. His attack is this ultimate attack right here, which it felt pretty strong, not too overpowering, but by using it, I could easily stop this Gohan's ultimate attacks, so that was pretty good. His other one is the Big Bang Kamehameha. Now this was a pretty strong attack as well. His abilities are power up to the very limit. This gave the character their ultimate straight away, their ultimate attack very, very quickly. Now the Wild Sense, I think that just enhanced the character's abilities and just made it so he does more damage and his shields are up, but I could be very wrong. But yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's ultimate was very, very strong indeed. It hit nearly every single time. It was very hard for the other players to dodge, and it felt like you were playing with a god character, you know. It felt like you were playing with an overpowered character, and that's what you want to be. That's what you want to be when you're playing with these fusions. You want to feel, you know, you spent them points wisely. Now sometimes it missed, but like I said, a good 95% of the time I was able to hit it. But even though when we missed it, it meant we're very vulnerable to the other people's attacks, and that did make us cost the game by making us bring out Trunks. But we still have that question, which is the best fusion to use? Is it Gogeta Blue and his ultimate power and his destructiveness? Or is it Vegito Blue and his martial art abilities and able to use his power and control? Or is it Kefla and her destructiveness of tearing up the battlefield and causing a lot of damage? Or is it Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with his ultimate Big Bang attack? Now, which one is the best one to use? Now, this was a very, very hard choice indeed to make because of how similar in power of nearly all of these characters were. But in first place, I would have to go with Gogeta Blue because of the fact of how many wins I got with him. Second place would have to be Vegito Blue because of the power and destruction this character had. And the third place would be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then final Kefla. Now that is my choice based on the experience that I had in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, but then you guys might have a totally different experience with the game and with these characters, and so comment down below which one you think.